Hello everyone and welcome back to our Celpip course. My name is Marco and in today's 10th class I will be covering my students' written homework and their speaking recordings. I will be giving feedbacks, tips, tricks and best strategies on how you can do this, perform better, have a better delivery so you can make it sound and look better in the best way possible, right? So this is how our class are going to look like until the end. Our main focus will be on speaking and writing part. First part of this class will be dedicated to your written homeworks, and second part is going to be dedicated to your speaking, to your recordings. With no further ado, I will start with our first homework, example 1. Of course, all these audio files that I will be using today and all these homeworks that I will be reading today, you can find in the same folder where this video is. So no worries, you can always know where we are at every moment. Example 1. This is task 1, email. As we know, email has 5 paragraphs. So let's start. Asking for permission. You are studying overseas. You need to return to your country before the end of semester for a family event. Write a letter to your supervisor. In your letter, request time off. Explain why you need to leave early and reassure him or her that your studies will not suffer. Begin your letter as follows. Dear Mr. or Mrs. So, dear Mr. White, very nice, best regards, Iris Shaw, and pretty much we can see that this student is using good sign-off and good introduction. She has 190 words here, which is pretty good. I like that. Now let's see how it looks in terms of grammar. Dear Mr. White, I'm writing to request a leave before the end of the semester. Pretty nice, pretty simple as it should be. Your first purpose statement should look like exactly like this. Nothing too complicated, right? So first one, request time off. This is the first bullet point. Let's read. Second paragraph, first bullet point. I plan to have 1 week leave for going back to China. The starting date would be on April 10th, 2022, and the return date would be on April 16th, 2022, so that I could not attend the class during this week. So, therefore, instead, so that, you can use therefore, right? I mean, this looks pretty nice, don't get me wrong, but if you want to have a better grade, you might want to start to use, after you finish your email, you might want to start to use more complex connectors and prepositions. This one looks pretty nice. My suggestion for most of my students would be, don't overcomplicate now. Start simple. Use simple words, simple grammatical structures, and then you can start complicating them. You have 26 minutes or like 23 minutes to compose this, which is more than enough for you to have like a couple of stages. First you write it simple, then you add some pretty nice connectors, then you see if some words repeat, and so on and so forth. But let's continue. This is our second paragraph. Instead of so that, you write therefore, I could not attend the class during the week, during this week, during the ending of the semester, during the let's put last week. My young brother who lives in China, so explain why you need to leave. So first you request the time off. Therefore, I could not attend the starting date. In the first part, you didn't request. So in your second paragraph, you need to request your time off, right? So you need to write something. Therefore, I could not attend the class during last week, for which I would like to ask you to give me time off, right? My young brother who lives in China invited me to attend his wedding on April 12th. That is why my brother and I, are very close since we are kids. My brother and I, we are very close. We are very close. We were very close since we were kids. We are very close since we were kids. We never skipped each other's major celebrations such as high school and university graduations. As a result, I'm excited to participate in this significant forthcoming event. That's another reason. But instead of, okay, you explain why you need to leave early, okay, but your second and third paragraphs are doing this pretty much the same job. You're explaining why you need to leave early instead of requesting the time off. So your second paragraph needs to include the request of time off. I mean, you can use any kind of style that you want. I mean, you are free to express yourself in your personal way. I'm not going to touch that. Your content is your content. So I don't want to butcher your content writing whatever I think should be written here, but you need to follow the task fulfillment, that's all. So in the second paragraph, you needed to mention the requesting the time off. I made some remedies to avoid falling behind the class. Remedies are, when you say it like this, I think like you made some special kind of cream that is going to make me feel that, oh, it's fine if I was teacher, right? I made some preparations to avoid falling behind the class. You don't need the. That's the typical problem with my students. Putting articles where they're not supposed to be, or not putting them where they're supposed to be, or using like weird ones in unnatural way. Just Google it. Takes 10 minutes, Google the articles, prepositions, and even the grammar tenses. 10 minutes a day so you can pick it up, right? Watch a lot of movies, or try to find a lot of examples on YouTube, for example. That's why I love YouTube. For tenses and for prepositions and everything, you're going to find a lot of pretty nice examples, like in a real life. Two people talking, acting. 10 minutes a day, just do it. So you don't have this kind of silly mistakes. This looks pretty nice, and you don't have so many grammatical mistakes here, but it would be such a shame that your points get deducted because you didn't pay attention and you were just lazy to Google a little bit, right? This doesn't require a lot of effort, but this is something that I cannot do for you. You need to work on your grammar, right? Made some preparations to avoid falling behind the class. First of all, I asked my classmate, Linda, to take notes on class and email them to me and email me, so I can review them afterwards. In addition, I would pull up all my stops to read materials professor provides. I would pull all my stops? I don't know what you meant about this. You need to fix this. I appreciated that you could take this into account, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon. So remember, first, second, and third paragraph, those are going to be your second, third, and fourth, first, second, and third bullet points are going to be your second, third, and fourth paragraphs. So far, you didn't, in terms of task fulfillment, this doesn't look good. You did reassure why your studies are not going to suffer, okay, but you didn't specifically. I'm writing to request to leave before the end of the semester. Purpose statement. This is where you write the reason why you write, but this is also where you announce what you are going to do in the email. So it doesn't count. It doesn't count as your request. If you mention, here you say like, so I'm writing this email because I want to ask you something, right? And then you never ask. That's how it feels. Best regards, Iris Shaw. I'm going to copy this and put it in the correction. So you will see example of this task one, and then after each one you will see correction, bolded, capital letters. My correction is not perfect. I want to tell you that basically for this one is just correction of your spelling and correction of your grammar, but you need to correct this in terms of task fulfillment, right? So, but overall not so bad. Thanks a lot for doing this. Second example number 2. So research suggests that damage to the environment is an inevitable consequence of worldwide improvements in the standards of living. Write 150 to 200 words discussing whether you agree or disagree and why you take that stance. What effects could it have if the government goes with either choice? Option A, support a topic, or option B, go against the topic. So first thing, as I always do, I see Does this have good structure? 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs, very nice. 175 words, also very nice. So let me see how this looks like in terms of grammar, spelling, and the other things. Okay. Even though the consequence of worldwide improvement would destruct the environment or not is the controversial question. I strongly support the topic. I need to read this one more time. This is very tricky, right? You're walking on a thin line because you wrote a very long statement here. Basically, in the first paragraph, you're telling us what is your choice. However, try not to write it. If the sentence is too long, you might lose the meaning. That's why I need to read it one more time. Even though the consequence of worldwide improvement would destruct the environment or not is the controversial question, I strongly support the topic. Okay, very good, very nice, I like this. Let's take a look at the last one. Given these reasons, it is unavoidable to harm the earth due to high standards, high standard of living. You need to rephrase this. You need to be more clear. So you strongly support a topic that damage to the environment is an inevitable consequence of worldwide improvements in the standard of living. However, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe you might paraphrase. You should say the same. At least mention the other option, right? Even though it doesn't seem so, giving these reasons, or all things considered, it is unavoidable to harm the earth, even though it doesn't look like this or something like that. So let's take a look at your reasonings. First reason. Firstly, in recent decades, consuming level of human being get promoted significantly. In recent decades, consuming level of human being, human consumption level get promoted significantly. Now you're trying to fancy it up, but it doesn't sound natural. So you need to be, instead of consuming level of human being getting promoted significantly, it's as if you wanted to say something and it's like human consumption grew or has risen significantly. But you try to find a different kind of synonyms and just cram them, just copy pasted different kind of synonyms. You don't need to do this. But listen, I appreciate the work here, and this is actually how you should play. You should try different ones. So if it doesn't sound natural to you, of course it's not going to sound natural to the examiner, as I mentioned millions of times before, but still, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try this, you shouldn't play. Here I am telling you that this doesn't sound natural, but I appreciate the fact that you try this. So, I mean, good job. However, I would say that human consumption level, human consumption level get promoted significantly. Promoted? Maybe you wanted to say that improved significantly. Not improved. Promoted, you mean something that like the capitalism or this kind of consumerism society promotes through advertising, like our consumption level. We should buy more, eat more, do more, travel more, pollute more. Maybe that's what you wanted to say. Human consumption level, enjoy the life, gets promoted. For the past, human consumption level gets promoted significantly because people can enjoy life, not another misused article, and buy more products they want compared with the old days. Meanwhile, I noticed that garbage increased at unprecedented new heights in old days. right? Again, don't write over like crazy long sentences. Split them into two different ones. That is going to make it more coherent and more understandable. Meanwhile, I noticed that garbage has increased to not the unprecedented level, to unprecedented new heights, such as discarded through, such as, for example, heights. Okay, and then you stop here. Or, meanwhile, I noticed that the garbage has increased to the unprecedented new heights. Numerous clothes, which are people discard furniture, toys, and numerous clothes which are in good condition, not on, in. So preposition, work on prepositions, all right? Google prepositions and articles and tenses. If you don't know, like if it's really hard for you to study from the text, to invest 10 minutes of your life to just Google this and study from the text, if it's hard for you to read, then watch it on YouTube, how people use it between each other, right? I know it sounds silly, but just put that, just a little bit of effort, just tiny, weeny, a little bit of effort, 10 minutes a day, go through this, no matter how hard it is and how tedious this is, just do it. Come on, it's like basic stuff. It's like numbers, right? You don't know numbers from 150 to 200 because, I don't know, like 177, it's so hard. Well, you have to do this. Learn that 177, right? So people discard furniture, toys, and numerous clothes which are in good condition. As a result, large quantity of non-essential items and spending practice with the improvement living standard are the culprit to damage on the environment. As a result, large quantity of non-essential items, spending practice together with the improvement of living standard are the culprit to damage the environment. Very good. So now we can see this is your reason. Human consumption level gets promoted significantly. People discard the furniture, throw away stuff, buy more things that they don't need. Therefore, this is the culprit to damage the environment. This is your strong reason. Just please, I beg you, try to keep it more simple. Don't cram all this information into one sentence, right? You're going to lose the meaning. Again, you're not writing here. I'm not trying to test your knowledge from the ecology. I'm trying to test, did you really understand the task? Just elaborate it. I'm asking you to use your own words. I'm not asking you to be ecologist or, I don't know, like natural environment doctor for, plants and trees and garbage and whatever. So move forward. Secondly, in order to attract customers, most factories develop the new products quickly than ever. More quickly than ever or quicklier. We cannot say quicklier, so I would put more products more quickly than ever. For example, the famous company Apple launches a new phone every year. Launches a new phone, new iPhone. Now when I want you to use A, you don't use it. But you want to cram it and put it when it's no place. It is really necessary to roll out new... Is it really necessary to roll out new one rapidly? However, nobody bothers the environment. Nobody bothers about the environment because most companies want maximum benefits, and consumers have money to spend. Benefits and consumers have more money to spend. However, nobody bothers about the environment because most companies want maximum benefits and consumers have more money to spend, which directly harms the environment. Given the reasons, it is unavoidable to harm the earth due to high standards of living. All right, very good. I'm going to copy this correction in this is example 2. this is example 2 correction. Now my correction is just in terms of, as you can see, mostly I correct your spelling, grammar. It's still not perfect, but it looks pretty nice, right? Again, if it doesn't sound natural to you, it's not going to sound natural to the examiner. So make sure that